Some people have all the luck. Some people have all the bad luck. Man, I can't seem to catch a break. So I was checking out the weather forecast. Well, actually, I had to do this before the forecast. I took several days off from work for the weekend. I took like 2 days, Thursday and Friday, in front of, in front of Saturday and Sunday, which I had off normally. So I set aside 4 whole days where I could work, because I was planning on doing a roofing project. And to take the days off, you have to request them in advance, which is what I did. I requested the days off in advance so that I would get like 4 whole days that I could try to work on the roof of the little shed. That thing had a big hole in it and had to be torn down and replaced, the entire roof. So I took all those days off so I could work on it, and did start to work on it. But if you're in Florida, then it's been raining like crazy. And what happened was I didn't get done. I ripped off all the old roofing, took all that stuff off, and we were going to hire somebody to do it. But the guy came out to look at it, and he wanted like $6,500 just for the labor. We already had all the components. We already had all the beams and wood and everything. He wanted $6,500 just to do the roofing for that little shed. My wife and I were like, this is ridiculous. For that price, we could buy one of those little wooden sheds already built, the whole thing already built. So we decided to go ahead and do it ourselves, but that's what caused the delay. The guy was supposed to have done it like 2 weeks ago, but he kept delaying coming to look at it. And when he did come to look at it, then he gave us that quote, and we were like, well, we're not going to pay $6,500 for the shed to that little building. That makes no sense. And already I have all the parts. We're just going to reproduce what was already there and rebuild it just like it was, except all new parts. So ended up ripping everything out, started working on it, had issues with all sorts of weird stuff like that. Then my wife had to leave, and I had to go get my son. So I went to get my son. I had him for like 1 day, and the tools still weren't working right between the two of us. And I was missing parts, like nails and screws and stuff that was short, So I had to run and get all those things. And I wasted the whole day pretty much. So I had the roof ripped off, partially put in new beams, new rafters and stuff. I did the outer edge, had to figure out how to do all that. And I did it all. Checked the weather forecast. It looked like it was still pretty good, Then on Sunday, that was the last day I could work on it with my kid. He had, I had to drop him back off to his mom. So I was like, look, why don't you save me some time and get all the wood that we've been saving out of the front porch overhang, and put it all right here by the building, inside the building, so that it'll be nearby and I can work on it by myself the rest of this week. So he took all the wood, the big beams, to save me some work, and brought them all outside, and we stacked them all up, raised them up off the ground, and put a tarp on it, hoping it won't get wet. But sure enough, Monday I went and I worked on it some, and actually got more done. I was like, okay, this is looking pretty good. It looks better than it did originally, but I was able to reproduce what was there, even though I'm not a roofer. So I was like really happy. But then last night I wake up at about like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and there is a sound of raindrops, rain hitting the house. Like, oh no. The entire roof was, totally exposed. And all the wood, all the beams were left out there. Even though I have the beams under a tarp, but I don't know how well that's going to protect it. but all the rafters, the beams that were already installed on the rafters, are soaking wet now. And I was looking at the weather forecast, and it's gonna rain, supposed to rain, this entire week, all the way through till next weekend. Like every single day, we're expecting rain now. Like it had rained all day on and off, and now it stopped raining, but the sky is like, you know, overcast, and things still aren't fully dry, which means my roof's not dry. And you're not supposed to work on a roof during the rain. And it's dangerous, but also, I don't know if you know, wood kind of, when it gets wet, it kind of expands and does weird stuff and can warp because of weight, you know? So I'm in the middle of a roofing project, and it's gonna rain for at least a whole week. So at this, I'm looking at having to undo all the work my kid did, lugging all those giant beams. They're like about 20 feet long, you know, for the roofing beams, all the way back under a shed, not under a shed, but under cover, so they don't get any wetter. But they might, I don't know if they're wet or not. I'm gonna go home and take a look at them. Right now I'm getting ready to go to the VA. I have a medical appointment, but it's like timing, you know. It's like it doesn't rain for like weeks and weeks and weeks on end. As soon as I rip apart my roofing, so none of it's protected, and take all the wood out there and stack it up so I can start working, it opens up and pours, and it's going to do it nonstop. And I had checked the weather forecast, so I'm hoping and praying that maybe they're wrong again. That maybe the weather will shift and it'll be sunny, even though they're forecasting rain every single day. And I'm looking at the sky, and it's super cloudy right now. So at least it stopped raining, but it doesn't help my situation. It will help when I get home. When I get home, if it's not raining, I'm going to take the wood that's still there on the ground and try to move it back under cover so it can dry out. But this sucks. But you know, I think about it. I think about how messed up that is, and it's like, well, there are people right now in Ukraine that a few weeks ago everything was normal for them, and they were in their nice little house or their nice little apartment, whatever. And now they're homeless. You know, they don't have anything other than what they were able to grab, you know, like in a backpack or something, or a knapsack. So it could be worse, but it seems like the timing of everything is always like that for me. It's like everything looks perfect. I double check it. So he said, I think 1954 said, put a dome over the house. That's what I feel like I need to do. What I'm going to try to do is get the wood, cover it, and then I'm going to take a tarp. Remember the tarp that I had put over the broken roof before? You know, it's got some holes in it. I'm going to try to tarp over rafters that I put up. I've done like about 1/4 of the building. I put up like a total of 4 rafters. 3 or 4. 4. Yeah, 4 rafters I put up. So I have like another 7 or 8, 7 more I gotta do. 7 more I gotta do. But I'm grateful that it rained before I put up the, I don't know what it's called, the flat part of the roof. Sheathing? Is that what it's called? Remember all those pieces of wood, those panels of wood that's inside the house still, that I kept saying that it's holding up the house, the interior, because I have all that wood sitting in there. So I was hoping to get that stuff out and put it over the roof next weekend. But I don't think that's going to happen unless the weather forecast is wrong, you know. But I guess if there's a lesson to learn in all of this, is that if you're in Florida or some other place that rains a lot, especially during rainy season, and you're doing roofing project, it might be a good idea to only take out exactly what you're going to be able to use. You know, take out the beams that I'm actually able to cut and put up. And then afterwards to tarp everything. Every night, even though it looks sunny and clear. Because it rains. When it just rains. And then once it rains, stuff's all wet and now potentially ruined. You know. But I think with the framing, you know, the rafters, I don't think it'll be too bad. Hopefully it won't all warp. But I'm just thankful that I didn't put up the sheathing, the flat panels. Because if those had gotten wet, you know, that was that OBS or ODS or whatever that stuff's called, OBD, I don't know what it's called, that, you know how that they recycle wood that's all chopped up and they glue it together? I'm just glad I didn't have that out there, because if that got water on it, it's ruined. So, that's where we're at. I'll keep you guys posted. I'll maybe show you some pictures and stuff. Just gonna make some videos, but I didn't want to broadcast live because it's kind of far away from the house, which means Wi-Fi might be intermittent. So, and I've been looking at a lot of my live videos from the house, and it seems to be dropping. You know, when I broadcast live like right now, it seems to be dropping segments. So I may film it and then upload it so you guys can kind of see the process or the progress. I don't think I'll really be filming while I'm working because it's kind of boring. Unless you guys want to see it, you know, if you want to watch me work, I might film it. Let me know. Put it in your comments. Let me know, and then maybe I'll try to set up a camera. But you know, setting up the camera and working and stuff, it slows me down. And obviously, with the rain and stuff, I'm working against time. I'm trying to get it done as soon as possible. So we'll see. All right. So I want to thank you all for joining me. Cross your fingers. Pray it doesn't rain. Pray that the weather forecast is wrong for the entire week. Until next time, everyone, take care. God bless you all. Stay dry. Bye-bye now.